What if I told you that everything you knew about the United States was a lie? What if I told you that the government has been lying to you for years? You'd probably call me crazy. Hello and welcome to the Literary Lair. I warn you now, this is not a traditional review. I just want to go over a book that I can't really review in my traditional sense. But first, let's talk about Brad Meltzer. You may know him from his show Decoded on the History Channel, or from his book, The Fifth Assassin, that's on my bookshelf behind me. Last year, he came out with a book titled History Decoded, The 10 Greatest Conspiracies of All Time. And I love it. It has my two favorite things, conspiracies and books with things in them that you can remove and look at to enhance the experience. It's like those ology books, Dragonology, Egyptology, Wizardology, etc. This one, however, is not for kids. It's about assassinations and the like, and it's awesome. And we'll talk more about it after the theme song. The cover, yes, we're looking at the cover, is pretty awesome. It's wordy, yes, but it's just amazing in its setup. It has pictures of Lincoln and Kennedy in the upper left and right corners respectively, and it has a big Decoded in the middle, just to make sure you know it's connected to the show. And #1 New York Times best-selling author Brad Meltzer under that. Anyway, let's talk more about what's inside. The book opens with an introduction from Brad Meltzer, telling us how he got interested in the conspiracies. He explains that in the 11th grade he saw a documentary about JFK's assassination and what happened and the holes in the government story. He says that it inspired him, that he had never ever thought about the government possibly lying to the public before. It opened his eyes and pushed him on his way to becoming an author and studying those things. He says that things he had in his books, secret passages in the White House and Lincoln Memorial, exist, and that's awesome. I like his books because while the plots are a bit confusing to a more casual reader, they're a wild ride from start to finish. Now, let's take a look at some conspiracies. Number 10 is the conspiracy of whether John Wilkes Booth was killed in that barn after assassinating Lincoln, or did he escape, leave a look-alike in his place, and live many years after that under an assumed name. The evidence that comes with this one is a letter that Booth left behind, the wanted poster, and the will of a John Wilkes, who is leaving things in his will to people that Booth knew. And why would some guy with an eerily similar name be leaving stuff to Booth's friends and family? You'll have to read to find out. Number 9 is the conspiracy of the Confederate gold. It explains that there was possibly $20 million in gold and silver that just up and disappeared at the end of the Civil War. The evidence for this one is a KGC, that stands for Knights of the Golden Circle, a secret society that was founded in the 1850s to promote the interests of the South, ID card, and the KGC secret alphabet key. Who were the KGC, and did that gold really disappear? The book explains all. Number 8 is the Georgia Guidestones, America's Stonehenge. It's a monument that was set up in the 80s, and a quick Google search provided me with some pictures of it. Nothing much is known about it besides that the writing on it is written in the 8 most common languages of the world: English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. The evidence for this one is a map of safe zones in America, places in which, if a major land change happens due to natural disaster, would remain above water, while the trouble zones would be under the sea. It also comes with a model of the Guidestones and a page of newspaper ads with one circled, advertising a book on mind control. Who put the Guidestones there and what purpose do they serve? Find out. Number 7 is one of my favorites. It's the story of this guy who used the name Dan Cooper to hijack a plane and then disappeared without a trace, along with $200,000 in 1971. I like it because he just leapt out of an airplane and vanished. Actually, leaping would explain it. Anyway, the evidence with this one is D.B. Cooper's airline voucher, the FBI bulletin with his description on it, the bank statement of Kenny Christensen, who on his deathbed claimed to be the elusive D.B. Cooper. Is Kenny Christensen really D.B. Cooper? You'll have to read to find out. Number 6 is a weird one. The White House. Where is the cornerstone of democracy? The simple answer is Washington, D.C. Duh. But there is a more complicated answer. The cornerstone of democracy is literally the cornerstone of the White House, laid down by the Freemasons in 1792. But rumor is, it was stolen. The evidence for this one is a letter from the Charleston City Gazette talking about the cornerstone and images from a Masonic temple. What happened to that cornerstone? Did it disappear, or was it just misplaced? The Decoded team tells you. Number 5 is about the Spear of Destiny, the weapon used in the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny. I mean, the spear supposedly used to stab Christ on the cross. That's rumored to have magical powers. Regardless of your beliefs, if something has magical powers, you'll want it, which is why the spear has been sought by Napoleon Bonaparte and even Adolf Hitler. The evidence for this one is a map of Vatican grottos underneath St. Peter's Basilica and a card with the Thule Society vow on it, the Thule Society being a secret Nazi organization. Does the spear have magical powers, or is it just a spear that happened to be used to stab Jesus? Or does the spear not even exist at all? The book explains all. Number 4 is about the Da Vinci Code. Not that one. It's about the secret that Da Vinci left behind that proves he may have had knowledge of 500 years of technology that hadn't been created yet. Was it just his genius, or was he psychic? I don't know. The evidence is a page from the Codex Atlanticus, page 1033, a Da Vinci self-portrait, Da Vinci's sketch of a flying machine resembling a helicopter, and a sketch of a storm. Was Da Vinci a Time Lord? Did he have access to time travel, or was this just another stroke of his genius? Find out in the book. Number 3 is an interesting one. What's inside Fort Knox? Gold, right? Wrong. Possibly. Some believe that the soldiers stationed there are guarding an empty vault. The evidence is a transcript of a 2011 interview that the Decoded team did with Ron Paul and Executive Order 6012, the order that called for all the gold to be put in the vault at Fort Knox in the first place. Is there gold there, or is it just a big pile of lies? Decoded team finds out. Number 2. You were waiting for. You all knew it was coming. Roswell and Area 51. It's a favorite of conspiracy theorists, even though that we know Roswell was either the Planet Express crew or a Ferengi. The evidence for this one is Kenneth Arnold's UFO sighting report, a redacted government press release, and a UFO questionnaire from Project Blue Book, the sci-fi version of Black Books. So, aliens, do they exist? Is the government hiding their existence? Was Enrico Fermi right? And now, the one you've all been waiting for, the one that you can't lie that it doesn't intrigue you a little bit, the JFK assassination. I have actually talked about this one before, way back in my review of 11/22/63, but it bears repeating here. I love the JFK assassination because it's so interesting. I don't need to say much about it here because most of my audience probably knows about it already. JFK was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. Or was he? The evidence for this one is the most plentiful. Contained here are the telegraph renouncing Oswald's American citizenship, the gun receipt billed to Alex Hedel, Oswald's fake draft card in Hedel's name, Oswald's Fair Play for Cuba committee card, and JFK's death certificate. What was the story behind it? Was it Oswald, a government plot, or was it a shooter on the grassy knoll? Why would I tell you? Read the book. There's a reason I haven't spoiled any of these. I want you to experience it on your own, or it's cheapened by me telling you. That's why I preface this by saying it's not really a review, because it isn't. I'm not telling you if it's good or bad, I'm saying that it's subjective and your opinion may vary. I recommend picking this up if you don't already have it. And I'll end this by saying, thank you, Brad Meltzer, for your amazing books, and thank you to the Decoded team for helping bring this book to life. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope everyone who reads it does too. I'll see you next time. I'm fixing a hill where the rain I can explain. Sir, I did not know that you were going to be here. I'm so sorry. Yes, so I am from the future, and I came to ensure that you completed this mission correctly, but I miscalculated when you would be entering the corridor. Yes. So, yes, I asked you to steal that hard drive. Yes, take that back, and listen, it's very imperative that you do this. Do not tell me that you saw me here, because it could disrupt the foundation of the time-space continuum, and I don't want to deal with that. Got it? Okay then, yes. I will not tell your future self, or your past self, that you were here. I'll be getting out of here now. Good, now, get out of here. Do you need help? Yes, I'm fine. Just go.